Hey everybody, RPG Guy here, and we are playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. And yeah, I'm your host. I did that in a different order. So yeah, we've got a new car to work on, which is gonna be this Sakura GT20. Which it needs some cleaning and some little work here. And in this episode, I'm gonna also describe while we're doing the basic stuff like suspension stuff you guys don't need to hear me ramble about. We're going to talk about the future of this Let's Play in general, because we're getting to a point where most of the repair work is irrelevant. I know that sounds weird to say that. It's not that important. What's important is seeing the performances and being able to compare all the cars to each other. Seeing them get restored is fun and great, and I still know that that's the way I would want to continue to going moving forward. But I am getting to a point where the viewership for this Let's Play is very small. Very niche. No, it's very small. And I have had people ask me about when am I going to tackle some other games that are of interest to them. And those are very, very good questions, because as long as I'm working on this particular game, I'm reluctant to work on others. At least putting this game's out 3 times a week. So, with that said, it comes down to me making an executive decision about when is a good time to stop. Okay, it's always the number one big deal question. When is a good time to stop a Let's Play, even though there's still so much more that can be done, or you haven't like 100%ed it. And I think I've done more than give you guys at home a really strong idea of what kind of game this is. I can give my rating, which I'll do at the end of this episode. Oops, I don't need 2 steering wheels. But yeah, I can give you my rating of the game after this episode's done and kind of explain my stance of do I think it's worth buying and all that. But I do think that we're getting to that point where it's like we gotta move on. There's so many freaking other games out there that are amazing and wonderful and terrible at the same time, and we're not gonna get to do much with that if we don't continue forward. You know, because there is a lot of cars to this game, and they're already announcing more cars, and we haven't even finished what we've got here. You know, so for me, it's just one of those things where it's like, well, there's going to be so much more coming. It's going to be impossible of a task for me to keep up with at some point. Eventually, it's just going to get to that point. And like I said, it's that executive decision that I'm going to make that says we got to move on. And I think this is a good time for me to do that. Now, with that said, there always is that beloved comment section below. And in that section, you can really tell me if you are enjoying this Let's Play enough. What was the thing that we repaired? Oh, the hood. If you're enjoying it enough to straight up say, hey, I'd like to see more of this. And if you want to see more of this, okay, we can work something out. If you want to see me do more Let's Play of this particular game. And the workout would be that I might upload once a week. Do 1 car a week till they're all done. And you could say, well, they'll keep adding cars, they'll keep adding cars. Yeah, they will. They definitely will. I'm not going to deny that. But for the most part, it will be somewhat sustainable for me to do it. There could be a moment where I say, hey, I'm going to just do, you know, as a buffer, I'm going to do like 1 or 2 weeks of Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 extra cars. Why? Because, you know, I don't have my next game ready to go yet. Like, I haven't decided what I wanted to do. You know, so this could be just like the easy fallback of, hey, I'm gonna, you know, do, you know, this couple more episodes of this game for you guys while I set up for the next one. That way this series might be one of the only ones to be maybe 100% somewhat complete. I say somewhat complete because, I mean, try to imagine doing all of it as is. I don't remember if I did this or not. So we'll pay to do it again. Doesn't cost anything, so. But yeah, I think that that's going to be the direction. Like I said, there's so many wonderful games out there to play, and I've been putting around 80 to 90 hours in this game. I double checked on my Steam account and realized that I've been putting in about over 80 hours. I think by the end of this episode I'll have hit 90. Um, and that doesn't include me fiddling around with it and learning the game myself, which I did do prior to the Let's Play. But so probably this Let's Play is probably 60 hours realistically, or less. It's probably like 70 or more. It's probably 70 hours ish, give or take. And so, with that said, that's kind of my stance and where I want to go with this series. Um, I am going to keep updating. I am going to keep adding cars. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to stop the game in its entirety. But I do think going forward, it's going to come down to just there's other games I want to do, you know. And I know that that's for the diehard, fans of this series. That's the if you're finding my Let's Play and you were excited because look at this dude's got like 40 some odd episodes, plus, and you then are now hearing me say, well, I'm slowing down how many I'm going to upload. Look at it like this. Here's the deal. If this show started getting a massive viewership by once this episode releases, let's say a couple months later, just the amount of people watching goes through the roof, I'll come back and do it maybe 3 days a week and whatnot. I could I could easily come back. I just don't feel right now it's a viable thing to keep working on, other than to show you me restoring more and more cars. There's the storyline stuff is over. There's no more story. There's no more storyline that I have found yet. If I find it, during the other restoration stuff, then if we hit level 50 and there's new story stuff, okay, well, let's figure it out from there. But yeah, we're gonna run into areas where I'm gonna run out of money again. I'm gonna have to make a bunch of cash. It just ends up, it all just ends up adding up. And personally, like I said, it's one of those things where it'd be just easier to kind of move on from this series because, like I said, there's other Let's Plays that are deserving of the amount of attention I'm giving this one. And yeah, and like I said, it doesn't mean I'm stopping this one. I'm probably gonna go another week of recording more of these, and then I'll start releasing them. Try to start releasing them rather once a week because I don't actually put anything out on Sunday, so it gives me something to put out on Sunday. And I know that's not what some of you want to hear because I do know I have heard. I remember doing my 2018 version when I stopped because 2021 came out. And again, I got to that point too, where it's like there's other things I could be playing, and it goes with the idea that the engines here. Let me just do this really quick. 16580, 16580. It just goes to say that it's a long game. It's got a lot of content. I will say it's very akin to PC Building Simulator. However, PC Building Simulator, as you guys all know, had a distinctive and definitive end, which we had gotten to. This one, I've not noticed an actual end to it. Like I said, it could be level 50 because level 50 was max level in Car Mechanic Simulator. So that's plausible. So, but I will say it's interesting because PC Building Simulator 2018 had a bigger garage. You could put up to 3 cars in that garage, plus 3 cars in waiting. They did a bit smaller in this one, and I'm not sure why they made the garage smaller. Other than that, realistically, I get the point. You can't really work on more than 3 cars, so maybe that's why they did it. All right, let's get to it, shall we? This car isn't going to repair itself, just like all the others before it. And I do know that this is a different engine than what we've worked on before. So that actually will make this a very interesting remodel. But look at this. The suspension is exactly the same as the car we just worked on. That's why I'm getting at the point I'm getting at. It's like, I don't mind doing this. Okay, I don't really mind at all repairing the same style of car over and over again. Like I said, there's other games that I'd like to show you guys. So, I'm rambling. But I do think it's important for me to communicate this. And like I said, if you really want to see more, I'm going to try to make an effort, and the strongest effort one can make, to release this release more of this once a week. I might have a stockpile of episodes prior to finishing this one, prior to this one being uploaded, that I'll start releasing once a week, and I can, like, once a month sit down, kind of binge this game a bit. And then, do roughly 4 cars a month. Think of it like that. Until we've got no more cars left to do. And once we get to that point, it'll be me talking about the game overall after showing off the collection. And I might take some of the old cars and put the best engines in them possible. That way we could say their best engines are in them, and these are their stats, these are their numbers, these are their values, that kind of stuff. That stuff that nobody cares about, except weirdos that are obsessed with cars. I'm kind of obsessed with this game's variant of cars. I don't think I could do this job in real life. I'm pretty sure I couldn't. I'm pretty sure most of us couldn't, to be honest with you. That's the starter type. Regular. Okay, let's buy that now. Just so we don't have an electronic item in our shopping list. Because we can't change engines. We know we're stuck with this gearbox. And for this guy... Oh, you know what? Shoot. While we're at it... An interesting little... Oh, wow. Okay, so it's bolted down. Okay. Even the front suspension is exactly identical. Okay. We'll say the front suspension. The suspension in general looks better on this car than it did the Bolt Reptilia. In certain elements, not in all. Yeah, pretty much the suspension is exactly the same. Which I guess if they're from a similar year, that makes sense. I'll double check the year on this car. Nice. we're going to take off that bracket. Because of the way the car... This is why this car was kind of worth doing as, like, the last car for the major element of the series, just because it's a neat little engine that we've not really had... I don't even think we've worked on an engine quite like this. We might have repaired one, but we've never had this opportunity to redo a whole car with this, or this engine specifically, even working with this engine entirely. So this one will be interesting. And it works out, like I said earlier, that we can't swap engines, so we're really stuck with this car and this engine type. So there is no better option. At least until they patch it or update it. They go, yeah, you know, there's a whole update we can do. Ah, shit. Oh, it didn't break. That's good. Don't care about that. She's pro. Looks like we fixed both major suspension crossbars. Okay, let's see here. I had that feeling in my gut that I didn't do something, but I guess I did. Okay. Should be no specialty stuff unless I missed something. Get that on. That's good. 1, 2, 3. So we need one more U-bolt. Need a handful of parts back here, it looks like. Luckily, they're the cheap parts. Already forgotten. Screw it. I think it was 2 calipers and that particular piece. Yeah, let's buy the stuff on that shopping list instead of looking at it gleefully and hoping that it'll somehow end up in my inventory. There we go. I think I did it wrong. I think I did the calipers backwards. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Okay, we'll need upper suspension arm. Two of those. I did do it right. I give myself more credit sometimes. RPG guy, you can be a big idiot sometimes, but you're not the biggest idiot. Somehow you beat games. Sometimes you just let your brain go on autopilot and do things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because you're not really paying that. That's the thing with some of these games is, as therapeutic as they are a little monotonous. I realize doing them in this fashion, like if I were not streaming or if I were not recording footage for you guys, I'd probably play this game like once a week until it was done, maybe once a month, because it would just be nice, and then rotate between different kind of therapeutically relaxing games like this. But that's really what these simulation type deconstruction games are when it comes to building machines of any kind or maintaining a house or mowing a lawn. But then again, at the same time, it would take forever to complete the game if you only played it once or twice a week, kind of a thing. Like look at how much time we put into House Flipper. It's just, and then they've just put out another freaking expansion, or they're getting ready to put it out if it's not out already. The luxury one, another one that I at some point gotta fucking do. You can see how excited I am about some of this. Okay, so we'll need the whole apparatus there. I feel like there's... I guess that is it. It's fuse box B. What am I doing in there? So we need the cover, we need the base. Let's take that out because now we can now look at the rest of this and get it going. I didn't see a battery. Oh, I must have, because there it is right there. Yeah, no power steering on this guy. It would seem. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this engine out. Let's see, look what we got going here. So we know we need that. It's gonna be a 16, but the rest of the ignition's the same. We needed 5 for sure. So we don't know if we need the rest. I think I put these guys in there, did I not? Yes, I did. Okay. So some of these will be repairable, so we may as well repair as many of these as we can and then figure it out. And if they're not repairable, get fucked. It's pretty much, hey, RPG guy, get fucked. They don't fix that easily. And I swear we haven't done this engine before. God, there's so many rusty screws. That's really telling. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably 5, but still. I have to have some faith. Well, timing cover's good. Alright, let's get to it. We don't know about that. Okay, that. It's not going to be high tier. Either it's that. Camshaft cap. I didn't see any of those in there, so that's a thing in and of itself when we get to it. What I want to do is get the rest of the ignition, which would be the A and the rotor, and then over here we can get the clips. I think it'll be 2 B clips, just like it always usually is. And that's enough to get us started. We'll slowly reassemble this guy. Just get everything in there. Slowly but surely. Come on. There we go. lot of little caps here. It's a very cappy car. I made a pun. No, you didn't. Pun makes no sense, you idiot. You just bought all this stuff, so. Let's cover back on. I don't know what we can do over there yet. Nice. Okay, before we do that, we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Let's just get this bolted down so we can start working more on the car. Still got a little bit of this engine to go, I think. That's why I'm trying to move it along. So just to get the wires, and you have to wait till the very end. Interesting. Okay. We couldn't put the exhaust manifolds on, so that has to be done at the car. Another interesting observation. Let's go ahead and put this engine back in. Move that guy out of the way. I would say, let's lift the car up and see if we can connect the plumbing. There we go. Yeah, so now it'll let us put that other stuff on. in our new gearbox. Not a big performance boost, but better than nothing. Well, a few cars that requires a little bit more extra up and down lifting. Next to the other than the electric car, which was just absurd how much lifting we had to up and down lifting we had to do to get that guy completed. Okay. We're not done yet. We now have the luxury of blind filling this car. Strangely enough, there's no radiator fan. Or there is, and I haven't checked it out since I finished. Well, after we put the oil in, we'll check and make sure there's no fan that goes on this radiator side. Usually we don't see that with the Type C radiators, I don't think. Yeah, no, there's no fan in this car. I mean, it's just one less thing I gotta do, but still. I think there'd be something. Usually with a radiator C, you got the radiator fan on the engine, but there just isn't one. One quick peruse, because like I said, it's a new engine type. Looks okay. Looks okay. Everything's 100%. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this to the limit. Now we're going to go to test path. Do our alignment. We're going to go with metallic. I like it. No livery option, huh? So maybe we'll change the color then. Let's go black. We can go with black. This kind of manila color. Or red. Let's check that out. Yeah, why not? We'll match the interior a little bit more. Yeah, we'll do that. It's the jizz-colored car. Yes, the finest of our jizz. Alright, let's go ahead and take it to the test track. See if this thing will actually run stable. So far, so good. We're gonna get to the end of the track though before we see this thing fully perform. And we literally flipped the car. Alright, that's as good as we're gonna get. About 241. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Could it be better? Yes. Could it be worse? Oh yeah. But it's good enough. It gives us something to work with, right? Alright, we'll check out the value. Is this a car worth repairing? Because usually, even if you put upgraded parts in it, like, if it sells really high upgraded, it'll sell really good not upgraded to a degree. It actually sells pretty good, so, you minus 30 grand from that. It's a $50,000 repair job. Definitely an interesting car type, for sure, because we haven't really worked on this particular engine before, so it was a neat little go. I still like the turbocharged, 2-carb, but whatever. We'll go and send that guy to parking. So anyway, like I said, guys, going forward, I'm going to probably start uploading these roughly once a week. Until I get even further tired of doing it. But like I said, in 2018's variant, they put out a lot of expansions. This one's already got 3, and it's not even a year old yet, even though video will be released in 2022. It's just one of those games that is therapeutic. It's but there's a bit of redundancy because we've done many of the same engines. We haven't done every engine of the game, not even close. But most of the cars that we've worked on so far have been very similar engine types, very similar underbellies, specifically suspension and and all of that. And there's a lot of things mechanically that has become very repetitive. There's a lot of glitchiness or incompleteness of the game still, like with the Bolt Atlanta not having you could put in the 2-carb supercharged engine, but you didn't have the means to do anything constructive with it. To finish it, they didn't have a hood for it. So you put the best engine in the car, but you can't put a hood that supports that engine. It seems kind of underdeveloped to me, ever so slightly, and it's honestly probably just an oversight. But like I said, we'll have some more of this as I get around to it, kind of a thing. Like I said, as I get around to it, hopefully I can get an episode out once a week to continue this series. And then when a new fucking car mechanic simulation game comes out, I probably will just be finishing this, at least recording-wise, and then we could maybe take a look at it. Because they seem to be putting them out every 2 to 3 years. And where does the series go from here? I don't think it really goes much further, other than more custom parts, more technical work, and repair jobs. And more styles of car, and hopefully styles of engine. But ultimately, I think it's, the charm of the series is running thinner and thinner. There's only so much more you can really do. As far as the game's balancing goes, it's like we mastered all this, but what is this? Oh, this was one of the DLCs. We can now tint windows. I forgot. They just did an update and added this. So there you go. Gives you an idea where I am when this episode came out. That update just came out. So again, the toolbox leveling system is a lot less intricate as the original. There's a lot less steps and things going on. I was expecting a bit more with this system. So it is what it is, but like I said, there's no reason for us to reset any of this. As for we've got all the tools and garage expansions. I was expecting a bigger garage, but ultimately you don't need a bigger garage. You don't need more than 2 lifts. So, but I was expecting a slightly bigger upkeeping storage based area. But with that said, guys, I think this is a great place for us to stop temporarily. There's the window tint kit right there. this is a really great place for us to stop. And when we get around to up doing new cars, we can implement the window tint kit. Like I said, it's going to be as I get around to it, once a week kind of a deal. And if I get a bug up my butt and want to do extra episodes in between other Let's Plays of the simulation style that I do, I'm gonna do it because that would be a nice little compliment that I'm still doing this game. Is oh hey, in between simulation games, I'm gonna do a week long, 3 or 4 episode release of Car Mechanic Simulator while I do figure out the next game. Anywho, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Again, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Studios for more live gaming action. And eventually, when we come back, we have 3 other cars to do. One of them is really just a 2-carb engine upgrade. I might do this off camera, because we've already done a Tempest Magnum in its entirety already. So doing a supercharged, not a big deal. I might even save this one after I do these 2. That way, we can look at both Magnums side by side performance-wise. And then, of course, we're probably going to keep this one, because it does have a complement. I know it has a hood that fits that. We've got the, what is this? The Emden Jaeger and the FMW Panther. So our first BMW knockoff and our first kind of Euro car, Volvo. So 70s or 80s Volvo knockoff. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.